1. So we're here with the Phoenix Guides, Phoenix 1.3 Guides Daily Mob, here with Euclides and Brent. Praveen said he was going to join, but he's not online, so he may join us here in a minute. So in that case, people said they couldn't join on Friday, so there's none on Friday. So we are where we left off on Thursday, and which Brent and I already looked. It's around right here. The link, Euclides, is in the chat if you want to grab it. And we were, we created the scope of admin and did it properly to where we would have different paths, helper paths that actually included admin and review path. And that was achieved by adding this little bit of code right here as admin. Otherwise, we just had a bunch of review paths that actually had different paths here. So moving on, I actually also done this. I believe we did this as well. The helper path, review path at the very end. Or did we? Yeah, we did. We did do this very last little bit right here. It just shows the path, helper paths in use. And we were in the shell. So now today, let's try to finish scope helper path section. And so what do they say here? I don't know if you guys had a chance to read this. Let's see, admin. Now we're gonna do 3 more resources. And I think, what is the point here? What if we had a number of resources that were all handled by admins? Okay. So this is what we're gonna get out of it. I guess we could try it, but we're gonna have in our helper path as admin for all these resources, we're gonna get about 8 times 3, 24 different helper paths. But I think we're all in there in the C9, and I don't know if we have any volunteers. We need to open up the routers. Brent?
Yeah, I've got it open up, yeah. So inside we've got the reviews, so we just want to add in fact, I'll copy and paste this actually, save me having to type it.
Yeah, so the images. And make sure you're sharing your screen, by the way. Let's see if, so by sharing this. Yeah,
I should be.
Great. Yeah, if you're gonna type. And so Euclides, if you wanna maybe start sharing your screen for in a minute. So we got that, and I think, so we already had the as admin, so that'll add it to the helper path at the very beginning. And so important thing is that we had to start the server every time we changed restart the server every time we changed the router file. And for some reason it's just not storing it here in our history. It's PHX for Phoenix 1.3 server.
Okay, so why am I not seeing yours on mine at the moment?
Right now, yeah, if you want to go to my active one right now. And
okay, yeah, that's working now.
So here we get that, so Euclides, you failed to remind me today to do the sudo service.
I should start PostgreSQL.
And just got to do this for C9 every time.
But I think it's out of the folder too, the hello folder.
Yeah, that was the mistake. So actually,
oh great.
Yeah, let me just do that. And cd hello.
Yeah.
And now maybe that's either way. Starting up the server, and I guess I'll go ahead and open it just so we have it ready. Even though I'm not sure we're really gonna, I don't know, we'll see. But this verifies that it's working at least. So now, Euclides, do you want to run the mix Phoenix routes command for us?
Okay.
Right.
So there we go. We have
images, reviews, and users. Cool.
Yeah, and there are prefixed with admin, which again is do things in this as admin. Great. So I think hopefully that's clear to everyone. Yeah, so that's exactly what they say, but we can make it even better. Yes. So we have all this right here that we have to type every time, potentially. To dry it up a little bit, we could just add this. So I guess I'll just add that quickly. And then it has that same effect. So right here. And I'll just take it out from there. And I don't know if, so I have to restart the server. Yeah. So do that. And then Euclides, you want to try it again? Just to make sure it works.
Yep.
Mix Phoenix routes.
Mix Phoenix routes.
And looks like it did not break.
Yeah.
And it's all showing up with the prefix right there. Great. Are we done with Phoenix routes? No, we're not done. Let's see here.
So this is creating a new router.
This is, what is this doing? I forgot. Nested route. No, Phoenix already does this. Fully qualified. What is this doing?
It seems to be updating the route scope, doesn't it? Because we've
Yeah.
got a page controller.
Yeah. So are they just doing this part right here? Let me see. We got, what do we have? We have reviews. We don't have images or do we have users? We have users, right?
We do, yes.
We can even nest all the routes for our application inside a scope that simply has an alias for the name. Well, we already did that, so I don't know why they're having us do it again.
Is it just to tidy up this file, do you think?
Yeah, I guess, right? Because we have, no, yeah. So I think we can skip that. We wasted a little time trying to figure out what to do. We can skip that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
They might have just assumed like you took everything out or something. Here is another little part, like for the API. Yeah, I guess we could try this one, and I think that's it. Nope. We're close. We're close.
Do you want me to copy this one in?
Yeah. If you want to do that, Brent. So this is like specifically for like APIs where you might have more than one version. Scoping it to v1.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I've actually. No. Hang on a minute. I've made a mistake. Just let me change this.
Yeah, so it's like a nested scope, I guess is what
Yeah.
First we have the API, then we have the v1.
Yep, that's ready now. So I guess we need to restart the.
Okay, reset the server. And I guess I'll try running it this time. And close that up.
Yep.
Yeah, so we have the API and the v1 prefixed, and that's due to this bit of code right here and this bit of code right there. And we're also adding this entire sort of prefix to the controller way up here at the top.
So it would be hello web.api.imageController, yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess yeah, the v1, where does, oh, the v1 right there, that gets added to. Okay, so we're closer, so that's what that's showing right there. Then finally this last one right here, so this header's so here they're talking about just having two scopes to the root, and so they end up going to different controllers by the way they're named here. Another app web, hello web.
We've already
actually go ahead.
Hey, we've already got a slash post though in there.
Yeah. Now, this is like saying it's another totally different app, like web app that you have maybe within your app. We can use multiple scopes with the same path as long as we are careful not to duplicate the routes. So, I mean, yeah, I guess we could copy and paste this. Do you want to copy and paste this, Euclides?
Of course.
Yeah, I would recommend you just copy and paste it all. Well, you know what you could do is just this part right here. Just add that part, and I think we'll be able to see just by running mix Phoenix routes.
Only the last scope?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because this one we sort of already have. And then I guess we'll see the difference is right there. So router. Okay, so you got it?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the Hello Web one right there. We just got a lot in there. We might want to take some stuff out, but for right now, let's just run it. And
Need to restart server.
yeah, Brent, if you want to run the cuts.
Yep, can do.
So yeah, that's that additional one.
Yeah.
Right there. And in here somewhere is the other one. We had like just a lot up here. Hello Web. I think they were saying do the users. Yeah, users. So
Hi,
we
Lara.
got
I
users.
think we just got Lara just joined us as well.
Hello, Lara. She might just be observed. Cool. Let us know if you want to participate. But you got here just in time, so this is what it would look like if we didn't have all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Just in time to get started with pipelines, which, yeah, the way they're called through pipe through. So routers, yes. So here we see a pipeline being called, and a pipeline is just like a stack of plugs. Plugs are like, they're functions with options. They're like middleware. Technically, a controller action is a plug, is a function plug. The ones that we have here is like for so browser. So when your app matches a route right here, for example, hello messenger, or hello, it'd be hello Frank. So it would match this. It matched it, so it'll first pipe through this pipeline of browser. So it goes up here, and it just goes through all these, which have to do with the connection, setting up the connection, the connection struct, adding different things to the construct or the connection struct, the session, different little things. The API one is a lot simpler.
Sorry, Federico, I didn't quite understand. What is the relation between that cone and the pipeline, you say?
Yeah, so let's see if we got it right here. So with all of these right here, yeah, they all accept and return a con. So if we go to like the page controller, a con, and a con, let's just print that out, right? So let's go to io.inspect.
Inspect con.
And so I'll save that and just navigate to, I think that's the index one that I did, right? You know what I should do is, what I should do is restart the server. Wait, we got, it won't let me scroll up. Hang on a second. Restart. And I'll pop into the shell first. in a second. And then let's see if we get that same error. We did get that same error.
Is it because we've got 2 slashes now?
Do we?
I'm just checking. We've got the page controller index in the /scope hello web do.
So I think it's due because I added this at the very end, which is problematic because we have to do the render thing. If I add it up here.
Ah, yeah.
Okay. So reload. And yes. So nevertheless, it won't let me scroll up. But I think, yeah. There we go. Can I do con? Got that. Okay, let me just try another thing. Let me try. So it's a little more clear. And I got an error. Hang on.
Does it need to be in speech marks?
Yes. Thank you. Okay. It's not popping up, is it?
I can't see it now.
I think con. I inspect. I mean, I could do. Yeah, might be wasting a little bit of time there. Let's see.
Yeah, then that's taking too much. Well,
I inspect. I don't think it's actually in there.
yeah, can we skip this and go ahead? I'll try and do it as a homework.
Yeah, sorry about that. The con is just a struct, which is I think you've seen it before.
It's a connection struct that have all dot plugs that you specify it up there.
Yeah, it just has a lot of information, and like for example, this we see that plug right there gets run, and it probably adds. So this is a struct right there, and there's a construct that I guess it's not showing up right here. I was trying to show it. That just holds a lot of information, and in a bunch of your code, especially in the plugs and the controllers, you get a con into the arguments and you return a con, and so that's why you can stack them up like this. And so for the accepts plug, you'll input a con, it'll return a con, it'll pass it on to this one. Like that, it has to do with the connection there. Yeah. So this describes some specific plugs right here. Then it talks about these 2 pipelines. I was saying that this API one is real simple. You just specify, I think what it accepts JSON for that API. And here's a little bit of go through it. This is where it's called pipe through that pipeline. Let me undo that. And so yeah, take the time to read this section. It'll become a little bit more clear as to what that is. But I think for us, and how much time do we have? We got about 20 minutes or so.
I found here there is a specified documentation for the plug con. I will read it later.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Plugs are maybe a little tricky to understand what they even do. But yeah, you can go over here to this section and get a little overview of what they do. There's two different kinds, the function plugs and the module plugs. So we are right here. I'm not sure that we this code here. We may want to skip over some of this. It's basically just talking about how pipe throughs are used. So for like these requests, the index kind of like where we were. The browser, how I already explained it, gets called. They were up here. They were talking I1. When you go to index to the root -API endpoint, it matches that. Like if you also do reviews.
So that's /API/reviews.
Yeah. And then so it would pipe it through the API pipeline, which just has that one plug, and that it accepts JSON.
So you can create your own pipelines then?
Yes, you can. And I think maybe that's what we did. Sorry, I read this last week. I didn't read it earlier today or anything. So I'm not quite on top of it here. So here they're talking about, so the review checks, I think, no. So these might be like specific pipelines that you write.
Yeah. Especially the other great stuff.
Yeah. And maybe something related to reviews, because this is in the review scope, and you list. It's like a keyword list, actually, I think. Right. So I'm not so sure we want to try to run that since there's no reviews check, or do they have it here? No. Another example with two scopes. Right there. Right here, creating new pipelines. So over here, finally, they do it. Now, if we were to do this, okay, so we're almost done here with pipelines. Does anyone want to volunteer? I guess, how would we, go ahead.
Okay, you can write it.
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay, past B.
Yeah, if you want to start on that, Euclides, but I'm trying to think of how we would actually like see that in action.
So those ensure authenticated users, they're plugs that come as part of the framework, are they?
No, I don't think so.
We'd probably have to generate those to see it work, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I mean, it's if I do like a check here of yeah, I don't think it's
No. So we'd
No.
have to create that, wouldn't we?
Yeah, and see, we don't even have any plugs as it is. Yeah, we don't have a plug folder. Have you typed any of that out, Euclides?
Inside root file.
Yeah. So I'm thinking we kind of skip that unless you've typed that out, because I'm not sure how we would really check it at this point.
Yeah, it's maybe it would raise an error. I think because we don't have it defined unless we define it inside the roots file.
So yeah, we could see the error. Yeah, we could do that.
Yep.
Have you added this at all, or should I add it? Too slow, Euclides. I added it. So maybe the pipe through part, if you want to add that part in the reviews, this line right here. Do we have a review scope, actually? I don't think we do. Yeah, so I don't know if you want to just add it. Maybe, you know what we could do is just add it right here so we can see that multiple pipelines in action.
Yeah.
So it's,
review checks.
yeah. Cool. So now if we go to, so let me restart the server. And we might get an error right away, perhaps, but maybe not. Undefined function. So we do get that error right away. Let's see. Let's try to actually navigate there. See what happens. So it didn't even really start up the server.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think we saw that in action. I don't really want to spend more time on that right now because it would take up too much time. What's a little more interesting is channels, if it's okay to move on.
Yeah, I'm good if we move on.
Yeah, cool.
I'm good too.
Now, I do recall reading this, and it is more interesting, but it's not really something that we could code until we get into the channel section where we have, because right here it's just more about routes, right? Over here in channels is where we're actually going to write up some sockets, some channels. You know, like join the room to get messages back and forth. So it takes a little bit of setup right there. They actually just right here just kind of describe channel routes, right? Channel routes. Is everyone familiar with channels, what they are? With like sockets, web sockets?
I understand WebSockets, yeah.
Huh.
So yeah.
WebSockets too, but not channels.
Yeah, so it's channels is just kind of the way they're implemented. WebSockets are implemented in
Phoenix.
Phoenix, yeah. So maybe you guys have a bit of an understanding here. I'm not so sure how far we can get. We could try to add these lines. Let's see, we got about maybe another 10, 15 minutes. I guess we should try to add them and then just see the errors that we get. It's kind of like what we did right now. It's not that many lines. If that's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. So we're getting the reminder to respond to stand-uply. And inside there, we almost have a deal with them. So this is what it looks like, by the way, for Euclides. So right now I could just say, yeah, hang on. I could say I'm too busy right now or nothing to report. I'll actually hit snooze. And then it'll ask me like for how long. I think a 1 hour. And then it'll ask me again in 1 hour. And we almost have a deal with them finally, but we'll see. They just want a little bit of more promotion. So I guess if we go to this file, libhello web endpoint.ex, I think we have to, there we go, add that in. So we already have use Phoenix endpoint. I'm not, maybe it's commented out.
Sockets. No, that line's already in there, isn't it?
So see that one. Yeah, there it is.
Right at the top, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that file is, let's see here. Channels. There we go. This file right here. It's in the Hello Web folder. Right. So next we need to open our channels. So I just opened that actually. And
yeah, so that line does need to be commented out, doesn't it? Channel room star.
right.
Because that's commented at the moment, yeah.
Right. So we got that done. Now we might actually add some like, I guess, rooms or topics here. So this would be in which file? I guess in that same file, right?
I think it's the same one, yeah, by what it's saying. Because
Yeah.
at the moment it's rooms and then any topic, isn't it?
Do you want to add
So like add the
ones? Yeah.
like the foods one. I don't understand what it means by via though. For the we could specify those.
Yeah.
If I just add the food.
Could it be long polling? I'm not familiar with long polling.
No.
It says, yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's saying that you can only access this through a specific transport or a specific WebSocket rather than any that's listening on this machine, I guess.
Yeah, that might be it. Yeah. Handled by only one type of transport. Yeah. Okay. We can mount multiple socket handlers in our endpoint. So I think we already had this line, right? I'm not sure that this would really help much adding this line.
No.
user socket file. No, not endpoint file. I don't think this would really do anything.
No.
Yeah, we need to, I don't know, I guess they are just explaining this part, but I think it'd be nice if we could code a little bit of this.
We need some sort of app to be able to test it though, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Because I mean, did you add that, Brent? Let's see how our user socket file looks. Okay, so
I added the foods, yeah.
yeah. So I mean, what was the other error that we got? Let me try to reload this. No application. This is okay. So let me go back to the router. Take out that one line. The reviews check. I think I added it here.
Yeah.
And I think with that, I can restart the server. Okay, so actually, let me take that out. Try again.
Yeah.
Okay, so now this might be really channels. Endpoint handler. Undefined admin socket. Okay, so let's take that out. Thank you. So save. Try again. Okay.
Yeah.
No errors. Yeah, but so I could run it here. Goodness. That could be an error that we're getting, perhaps, in the endpoint file. I forgot, was this already commented out or was it? Yeah, it was already like that, right? Yeah. Okay, so at the very least, we've gotten through this not so great example that they have here for tomorrow. Does anyone have any other ideas right here with channels that we want to try before we wrap up the routing section, or any other questions related to routing?
I guess not.
No, I mean, the only thing we could try is telnet into the socket that is working, but I can't seem to see how we'd know what the port is. I'm just looking through the endpoint and it's not clear. Unless it's in some sort of config file, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So yeah, don't worry. It doesn't actually say when the server starts up, does it? What port it's? Only the HTTP port. It doesn't tell you what the actual socket is.
No, I don't think so. Let me try. open up the console, see if we get anything in there. WebSockets right here. Yeah. We really need to implement a lot more code.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And so, yeah, it's not a terrible amount of code, but it's just some basic code in here for the channels. A couple files right here, and in the static file, I think up here in the JS file, over here. We need to add a little bit of code, and so we will just save that for that section. We'll get there after we get through the main parts. So next week, so that's a summary. Finally got through the routing. It took us like 2 or 3 sessions. Or tomorrow, we're gonna maybe get into plugs. Yeah, after today, I'm not so sure that these are best. I'm kind of thinking we might want to skip to the controllers perhaps for tomorrow. But I don't know. I'll read this over again, and if it looks like it's easy to implement, we might do it tomorrow. But anything else before we wrap up for today?
Nope, I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm good too.
Cool. And Laura, by the way, said, yeah, she can hear me, but we cannot hear her. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, Laura. Hopefully you can join us tomorrow. And yeah, so I will stop the broadcast.